G'day guys, you're watching Rig It Up, and here's what we're doing this week. So the owner before did lots of trips around Australia, in the sand, you know, the red dust, all that sort of thing. So I pulled off all the panels in the rear and noticed a lot of dust. So I'm just going to be cleaning that out today. I've already cleaned the carpet, so that's going to go back in. And then we'll chuck the rear drawers in. In the Black 80 series over there, I had just some Titan drawers. They're pretty cheap, pretty basic. I'm just going to stick with the Titan drawers. They're pretty smooth and they'll do the job for now. Got this Adventure Kings compressor here. Basically I'm just going to be trying to fit it in this spare compartment here just to save some space. So I've just got to work out a way I can slide it down there, but also mount it so it stays there and doesn't jiggle around a bit. I'm also going to put some heat protection because I do know that compressors can get hot and I just want to protect that area from any heat. So I've got this old sun visor here, and obviously it works to keep the heat out of a car. So it'll be a good insulator for the air compressor, but it also has a bit of a soft padding to it. Now the soft padding will be good to reduce vibration because, as you know, when the compressor's on, it's going to vibrate a lot. And if it's hard up against the body, you're going to hear it. So having this soft insulation and also heat protection should be a good fix. Running the wire for the air compressor, and I've noticed a bit of a problem. We've got a leak somewhere, and I am assuming it's through those 3 screws there on the snorkel. It's leaking water down and dripping into there. It's not the best because I've got wires down here, so we're gonna have to solve this snorkel leak problem. So I've got some Sikaflex just to solve that leaking issue, and rather than taking the whole snorkel off and putting Sikaflex on each of those 3 screws, it's just going to be easier to run a bead just around that bracket just to stop the leaking. So let's get onto that. The air compressor is now temporarily in with the heat shield around it. I have tested it, it works pretty well. I've got this switch here. Yes, it is ARB, but it has a little tyre inflation symbol on it, so I thought it would work perfectly for the air compressor. So I'm just going to be putting that on the outside of the drawers. The good thing about this cover is exactly where the compressor is going to be. It's not only got the speaker cover, which has holes in it, but it's also got a ventilation here that'll help the air compressor breathe and also suck air efficiently. I've just kind of lined it up. Haven't popped it back in yet, but I've lined it up so where it's going to go, and I've just got to get a marker and sort of mark out a semicircle there, just so I don't pinch that hose there. Once I've cut it out, then I can put it all back together and get the drawers in. Just a quick side note to those fitting drawers in their car. I'd suggest putting the old bolts through the holes that you're not going to be using, or even some silicone like Sikaflex I've used in these holes here, just because you don't want any unwanted water coming up through into the boot area and then eventually causing rust.
Nice.
So the compressor switch and also the outlet is in. Just show you from behind. As I said, cut the semicircle and just attach like that. Pretty snug. Compressor works like that. Flowing air. Compressor off. So I've just got the hose. You just pop the hose on there and you pump your tyres up. And if any of you are wondering if the tailgate's going to shut, how close is that, eh? Super close, it just shuts. So just on the left side here, I've put a USB port there and just your DC port there, and I've also got a switch here, and that's going to be for a light that's going to come off those two wires, probably running up somewhere along the boot there. So let's get these drawers in. So with the kitchen set up, you need water, and I've explored a few water tank options, and the cheapest option is going to be some PVC pipe. So I've just got 3 of these 90mm PVC pipes. I'm going to cut them up, put some joiners on them, and put it right behind the seat here. Come over here and have a look. So the 90mm pipe slides in there pretty nicely. I'm just going to stack 3 layers on top of each other. It should be around 20 litres, maybe just above 20 litres, which isn't much, but it's just enough to, you know, fill the sink up, drink out of it, that sort of thing. So let's put it together. Alright guys, so PVC tanks all together. We've got the outlet end here that's basically going to be connected to a pump with a hose. And then you've got the filler part here, so you just unscrew that if you want to fill it up, put water in there. So we're going to test the litrage of this, but I reckon it's going to be around 20-21 litres. So let's test the litrage, put it in and paint it black. Alright, so that was 15 litres, give or take. I've probably lost about a litre. We're still not full yet, so we'll put some more in. Fill to the brim now, roughly around 25 litres, give or take, so not bad for a water tank. Alrighty guys, the tank is all done, painted in gloss black. It's looking pretty nice. Give you a closer look. I've mounted this breather on here. It acts like a snorkel to help the tank breathe. Yes, it does look a bit funny, but I thought the higher the better, just because as the car is moving side to side when you're full driving, I just don't want that water to come up out of the breather. Now the reason for a breather is if you think about when you're drinking out of a plastic bottle, the bottle is slowly compressing as you're drinking the water. Similar thing will happen to this, just because there's a pump hooked up to it. The pump is sucking out the water, so the breather just prevents that from happening. Now that the tank's all done, I've got the pump hooked up already. Just got to put it all together, put the tank in, put some water in and test it out. Alrighty guys, as per my first video, got this board here, the bench for the kitchen. And I said that I was going to put some holes in the bottom just so those paint sticks can hold it up. So I'm just going to be putting some holes in there now and then getting onto the tap system. So this is my kitchen setup in its final form. I've got these paint sticks that are quite easily adjustable. As you can see here, just they thread into the wood and then screw down like that for a sturdy mount. Got this pop down sink. It's pretty convenient, pretty space effective as well. And this tap here I bought from Bunnings. It's just got a washer at the bottom. Slide it up and then hand tighten the nut. It's quite sturdy as well. The 10mm water hose just wraps around behind the spare tire and conveniently pops in to the bottom like that. I've also cut in half this silicone hose just to hold the hose up higher so it's out of the way. I've got this dual burner from Anaconda, and it comes with a pan like that. Finally wired up the lights to this switch, one for the kitchen side and just above there on the boot door. It's quite bright at night time as well. Another switch here I put out of camera is the water pump switch. So the tap has plenty of pressure, fills up the sink quite fast, and it conveniently swivels to the side if you need to fill up a bottle or a cup. The air compressor, once again, switches, and under this right wing here I've got the hose for it. Very easily pops on there, no effort at all. Pressurizes quickly, and then you just attach the filler, and just like that you pump your tyres up. Here's the dual burner again. Quite easily ignites. You can't see because it's daytime. Got the sink as well. Just a push of a button, it empties. In the future I'm going to be putting a bucket or a hose to make sure the water doesn't go on your feet. I've got this USB here as well, and DC port. Now just as a side idea for this shower, you just put it on the tap there. Has a little bit of pressure, enough to maybe have a shower under. And the hose is long enough so you can bring it around to the side of the car. I may put a magnet on the side of the car to hold up the shower head, and possibly a tent in the future. So that's the end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. All I need to get now is a fridge, so comment below what brand of fridge you think I should get for my rear setup. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Don't hesitate to go look at previous videos as well, and also future videos to follow this build journey. Thanks guys.